The UNC softball team goes head-to-head with alums in an exciting game that was all for a good cause.
Plus, elections are right around the corner and the race is starting to heat up. We have the latest update on Colorado politics. This is Bear News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tanner Schwint.
And I'm Ashley Franco. The Greeley and Evans police departments team up with UNC to take back prescription drugs on October 27th. They want you to benefit from this free service and dispose of drugs safely. You can go to the Greeley Police Headquarters, the UNC University Center, and the Sam's Club parking lot to get rid of those old prescriptions. Those sites will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, here's something important. The sites will not accept illegal drugs, needles, oxygen containers, and so on. For more information, check out Greeley's website at greeleygov.com or contact Greeley Police Neighborhood Action Team Officer Arpad Balati, at 970-351-5361. Weld County voters only have 3 contested races for elective office, but voters face a long slate of local ballot initiatives intended to update the Weld County Charter. Bear News reporter Don Lanik is live in the studio to bring us up to date.
Because Weld County is so big and has so many towns, the sample ballot is 9 pages long. But not every Weld voter weighs in on every race or ballot question. County-wide races include 2 contested races for county commissioner. Incumbent Republican Steve Moreno faces Democrat Carl Erickson and American Constitution Party candidate Lynette Kilpatrick for a 2-year commissioner-at-large seat. Prior to becoming a commissioner, Moreno served as Weld County clerk and recorder. Erickson is a local environmental activist who ran unsuccessfully for the District 1 commission seat in 2016. Kilpatrick has also run unsuccessfully for the Weld County Commission in previous years. The LaSalle resident ran for a 2-year at-large position in 2016 and for the District 3 seat in 2016. In the other commission race, Democrat Dwayne J. Lease faces off against Republican Scott James. The winner fills the District 2 seat currently occupied by Commissioner Julie Kozad, who is completing her first term in office and isn't running for re-election. Lease is a software engineer and real estate management company owner who is making his first run for county office. James is the current Johnstown mayor and is a longtime radio personality who teaches broadcasting part-time at Ames Community College. The only other contested county race is for the county clerk and recorder's office. Incumbent Republican Carly S. Copps faces current Weld County public trustee Democrat Susie Velasquez. The races for county assessor and county sheriff feature only 1 candidate each. Current deputy assessor Brenda A. Dons is running to replace current assessor Chris Woodruff. And incumbent Republican Sheriff Steve Reams is running unopposed for a 2nd term. 3 seats on the nonpartisan Weld County Council are up for election, and only race features an incumbent Republican for re-election. Incumbent at-large council member Charles Tucker faces Tanya Van Beber and Tommy Butler for that seat. In District 2, Nancy Texton is running unopposed to replace current council member Jordan Jimiola. And in District 3, James Welch, Christopher Mark Woodruff, and Paul Ectomacht face off to replace current council member Michael Grillos. In addition to the elective offices, Weld voters will decide the fate of 6 referred ballot measures designed to update the language in the Weld County Rural Charter. Ashley?
Thanks, Dalton. Be sure to join us next week when we take a look at 3 statewide ballot measures that would hike income and sales tax to pay for education and road projects.
Now, anyone who is familiar with the Colorado economy knows that oil and gas have played crucial roles in the state's economic prosperity. On this November's midterm ballots, a new measure that might have a direct impact on Colorado oil and gas. Proposition 112 would significantly increase the distance oil and gas operations would have to be set back from buildings and a number of other locations, such as parks, schools, and so forth. Opponents argue it would have a massive impact on northern Colorado because of the large number of oil and gas workers that live here. According to the Denver Post, out of the 600 permits approved for oil and gas wells in 2017, the majority of them are in Weld County. Express employment of Weld County statistics show at this moment northern Colorado is overemployed. A large portion of those jobs are in the oil field. Both major political parties oppose the proposition. Both of Colorado's gubernatorial candidates spoke out in opposition, and during the middle of one of the final Colorado Rockies games, a political ad appeared showing former Colorado Governor Republican Bill Owens shaking hands with former Democratic Senator and Secretary of the Interior Ken Salazar in agreement that Proposition 112 is not good for Colorado. So whichever way voters decide, Proposition 112 could affect everyone living in northern Colorado. We'll keep you up to date on this proposition and everything else facing voters in the November 6th election.
Let's get a first check of the weather forecast with meteorologist Michaela Lucero. Michaela, we're finally starting to see a warm up in temperatures, and it's feeling a bit more like fall out there, especially today. It's been a gorgeous, gorgeous day. How is it looking right now?
Yeah, Ashley, it has been a great fall day today. About 62 degrees in Greeley right now with those partly cloudy skies. Ditto that in Loveland, 62 degrees. With some cloud cover out there. For Fort Collins, just a few degrees cooler, about 60. And down near Denver, you guessed it, 62 degrees. For the rest of Colorado, Pueblo sitting about 55 degrees right now and out towards our mountains in those lower 50s. On our radar, we've got a little bit of rain out towards the southern plains of Colorado, but it looks like Oklahoma and Texas is getting hit hard with rain right now. Now for tomorrow, I'll tell you about your walk to class, a little bit of football weather, and how long is it going to be sunny? I'll have all that in just a few minutes. Guys.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, 2 weeks ago, the Munford College of Business celebrated Ethics Week with guest speakers provided by the Daniels Fund Ethics Initiative. The first week's guest speakers included the former economic advisor for Czech President Thomas Sedlec and 2016's top thought leader and trust, Gail O'Brien. The speakers covered topics including ethical leadership in business settings, and business and personal integrity. Students participated in a business ethics case competition, discussed student ethical issues with panelists, reflected on Ethics Week, and provided feedback in exchange for a sandwich. The final event included keynote speaker Mary Gentile, who spoke at the Giving a Voice to Values event in Loveland. Last Thursday's event provided attendees with breakfast and concepts that provide insight about how giving a voice to values concepts can elevate trust in an organization's culture.
Some of UNC's softball alums returned this weekend to try to mimic that old feeling of winning on the diamond. That meant the current softball team went head-to-head with the old-timers in an old-fashioned alumni softball game. I know what you're thinking, right? Because I was too. Blowout? No, actually the current team just squeezed out a win, defeating the alums 1-0. And the alums lost the game with runners at second and third, but they just couldn't get the base hit they needed to take home the W. The event also helped raise funds for UNC's softball team and the Softball Rally Starters Club. Along with the fundraiser, they held a live auction in which guests competed to be the highest bidder for a powder blue scooter and a chance to have a grand dinner with the team. The winning bid saw the scooter sell for $675 and the dinner go for $500. Not bad. They also sold 7 other prize packages that included goodies like softball jerseys, UNC fan prize packs, and flower arrangements. And of course, we can't forget the delicious dinner that everyone enjoyed as part of the evening.
Well, once in a while, we could all use a mental break, especially being college students. Coming up, One Bear News reporter shows us how the UNC campus paid tribute to the national holiday Celebration of the Mind.
And lately, the weather has been exactly what you'd expect from Colorado. This week for our Question of the Week segment, Matt Jenkins sets out to talk to students about how they feel about the early snowfall.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry. I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You might think a 70-yard touchdown is impressive, but not as impressive as a 10-dimensional hypercube. That's right, 10 dimensions and more were on full display at the 9th Celebration of the Mind, held Wednesday in the Panorama Room. But what does celebrating the mind have to do with math, puzzles, and 31-dimensional hypercube lattices? Well, that's exactly what the Celebration of the Mind came together to celebrate. Organized as a national holiday, the celebration is held every year to remember Martin Gardner, a journalist and mathematician who wrote for Scientific American. He developed puzzles and wrote on mathematics for a wider audience. UNC Math Club President Maggie Mildenberg says that she herself has completed 2 of Gardner's elusive puzzles. She says that they range from being easy for math geeks to requiring a PhD. More than 120 dedicated mathletes came to the celebration of the mind to complete puzzles, play with hypercubes, watch magical card tricks, hear guest speakers, and guess the volume of a pumpkin. STEAM, that's STEAM, excuse me, that's the acronym for science, technology, engineering, art, and math was also represented. At the celebration, they used Zone Tools, which are a learning tool using plastic sticks and building to represent multi-dimensional figures. It's a way that children can understand difficult concepts. Zone Tools Chief Visionary Officer Paul Hindebrandt says the idea is to take the most complex mathematics known to man and put them into the hands of children by representing complex figures visually with art. He hopes to get more people interested in math. Now, I've never seen a 10-dimensional object before, but I imagine it's beyond my comprehension.
Well, with a Halloween theme, the 9th annual Night of the Living Drag visited the University of Northern Colorado Wednesday. UNC's Spectrum program hosted the show at the University Center, which featured Colorado drag queens Jessica Lahore and Cristal. It didn't cost anything to attend and watch the performances, but Spectrum invited audience members to donate to the performers. The event attracted a huge audience that kept growing throughout the night. Now, in the end, it was only standing room as audience members enjoyed performances by Jessica Lahore and Cristal, along with Hamlet's ghostly dad and Giselle Antlers. Spectrum co-president Ashley Edwards and Hannah Alvarado said the evening was about educating the public about drag and other gender issues. All the donations to the Drag Queens and Kings performances will be donated to help fund the queer prom in spring semester.
With this past weekend's snow, there's a different vibe on campus. Now, walking through campus, I've seen some people throw snowballs, I've seen snowmen, and some people have even gone way back to their childhood and made snow angels. Bear News reporter Matt Jenkins took off around campus to talk to students about snow, and he's live in the studio with our question of the week to tell us what he found.
Saturday night, I was warm and cozy drinking some hot chocolate with some friends when I looked outside and my car was covered in snow. Bummer. That meant when I got ready to leave, I had to clear off my car. But it also got me excited for the rest of winter and what there was to come. So I went to the University Center Monday to ask students if they were getting excited for the winter to come. How does the recent snowstorm get you excited for the rest of winter?
I'm excited because I just got all my winter clothes and all my new sweaters out, so I get to start dressing better. And then I've never been skiing or anything because I'm from Texas, so I'm really excited to go up, learn how to do that, see like the trees covered in snow, see the mountains, maybe camp a little bit. I'm really excited.
Snowball fights are coming, which is super exciting. And now I have an excuse to wear sweaters every single day for the rest of winter.
So I'm super pumped about our recent snowstorm. Hopefully we just get absolutely pounded this winter by snow, man. I love going skiing. I love it on campus. I love everything about it, so we're really looking forward for it.
It really doesn't. I kind of hate snow, so.
Honestly, I'm just excited to go snowboarding. Really into it, and I know most of the guys are that I hang out with, and it'll just be a good time. Definitely.
I really like the cold, so I'm super excited to go skiing and snowboarding and to have hot chocolate with my friends.
Well, I don't like snow that much, so it mostly just gets me excited to go sledding and drink some hot chocolate and just cuddle up.
Well, I love waking up to snow, so just seeing all the white and how quiet it is, it's just really nice.
I am super stoked because I just got my pass, the Epic Local, and now once we get some snow, it is time to shred. This Friday, A-Bay opens, so I'm ready to get surfing on some mounts. Shaka bra.
Some students are excited for skiing, sledding, and just being able to wear warm clothes. With our first taste of snow in mid-October, we're in for a long, cold winter. Back to you, Tanner.
Thanks, Matt. Having to clean off your car is always one of the worst things about winter. But hey, with winter comes Christmas, and more importantly, Christmas break.
After the break, Michaela will have the full weather forecast for us. She'll tell us if we can maybe expect to see these warmer temperatures stick around for the next week. Stay with us.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Welcome back to Bear News, and thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Michaela Lucero. It's just about ski season here in Colorado. This weekend, A-Basin and Loveland open up. Next, it'll be Winter Park on November 14th, and Aspen, November 22nd is your opening day. For the rest of the day in Greeley, 62 degrees, and we'll head down to those lower 60s at 5 o'clock and be in those 50s by about 6 p.m. tonight. Denver, 50 degrees will be your low tonight. Northern Colorado in those middle 40s, and down near Pueblo, about 40 degrees for tonight. Tomorrow, our warm-up will be slight. Northern Colorado in those mid-60s. That goes for Pueblo as well, and out towards our mountains in those middle 40s. Now for your planner tomorrow, high of 66. We'll start off our day in those lower 40s, warming up to the 60s by about 12 o'clock, and 66 will be our high at about 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now for our football game. Kickoff 60 degrees, and we'll stay in those 60s through the remainder of the game. And for your walk home, 64 degrees by about 4 o'clock. Next 3 days in Northern Colorado will be in those 60s with sunny skies ahead. It'll be a great weekend to spend outside. Starting off next week, 65 degrees, sunny skies ahead. We're only going to see a little bit of cloud cover starting on Wednesday, but we'll still stay in those 60s to finish off next week. Guys.
Thanks, Michaela. Well, we are excited for this fall weather to stick around. Maybe some snow in there.
I hate the cold, and so going out there and cleaning off the car is terrible. So yeah, I like the fall. Let's have it stick around. Let's see. Fingers crossed.
It's a gorgeous day out there, but the UNC women's volleyball team fought their way to success not once but twice this past week.
And the UNC hockey team kicks off their season with a win in an exciting matchup against DU. Ben Shoemate will have all of the highlights coming up in sports.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
UNC men's club hockey team played to a packed house last Friday night for the team's annual Hockey Fights Cancer game against the DU club team. The Bears got off to an early lead in the first period, scoring 3 goals before DU scored 2 goals late. That tied the score at 3-3. In the second period, more scoring. The Bears fell behind early but scored 3 straight goals to take the lead going into the third period. In the third, DU tried to make a comeback happen but couldn't stop the Bears' offense from scoring another 2 goals. In the end, the Bears held off DU and won 9-7. The Bears play next Friday at 8:15 in the Greeley Ice House against CU Boulder. Last Thursday, the puck dropped in Buffalo as the Colorado Avalanche faced off against the Sabres. The Avs came out in the first period putting shot after shot on goal and having 3 of them find the back of the net. Nathan MacKinnon extended his goal streak to 4 games after scoring not only in the second period but also in the third. Young star Mikko Rantanen showed off what he was, handing out 3 assists that night. The Avs left Buffalo after beating the Sabres 6-1. They came back home for a 1-game set Saturday against the Calgary Flames. After getting out of the gate firing, Nathan MacKinnon added another goal to his streak, finding the back of net only 11 seconds into the game. MacKinnon now has 6 goals through 5 games. The Flames and Avs were tied 2-2 by the end of regulation and had to settle the outcome in overtime. The Flames found the back of the net just 46 seconds into overtime, handing the Avs their second loss of the season. The Avs look to find a hot streak on their 4-game road trip up the East Coast. Tuesday night, the Avs hit the ice in the Big Apple against the New York Rangers. Off to a slow start, the Avs went down 1-0 into the second period. The Avs found the back of the net in the second, scoring a power play goal by captain Gabriel Landeskog. The Rangers regained the lead quickly 2 minutes later, going up 2-1. 13 seconds before the period ended, Nathan MacKinnon, yes, him again, set an Avs record, scoring his 7th goal of the season in just 6 games. That goal ties the game at 2 into the third. The scoreless third period, after the scoreless third period, the Avs went to overtime for the second straight game, this time going a full 5 minutes. The Rangers then handed the Avs their second straight loss in a shootout, and tonight the Avs move over to the Shore and face off against the New Jersey Devils at 7 Eastern. They say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and luckily for the University of Northern Colorado volleyball team, they're right. The Bears had to climb back to win a pair of matches last week, topping Southern Utah in 4 sets Thursday before winning a 5-set thriller over Northern Arizona Saturday. In match 1, the Bears came out flat and dropped the first set to Southern Utah 25-18. But something clicked after that, after the first break, because UNC stormed back to win the next 3 sets, capping the win 25-22 win in the fourth. The Bears took a similar path to victory against Northern Arizona Saturday. After falling behind 2-1, the Bears dug down to grind out 25-23 win in the fourth set. UNC rode that momentum into the fifth set, easily taking down the Lumberjacks 15-6. Courtney Lockie led the Bears over the weekend with 32 kills. Daisy Schultz racked up 107 assists across the 2 games. The pair of wins moves the Bears' record to 9-8 on the season and 5-3 in Big Sky play. UNC plays again Friday against the University of Idaho in Moscow. The old adage that says there are 2 things in life that are certain, death and taxes. But after 7 weeks have come and gone, it's starting to look like you could add a third thing to that list, the UNC Bears losing their football game. The Bears went on the road last week, taking on Portland State in what was Portland's homecoming game. And before anyone could blink, the Bears were out of it. The scoring started with a rushing touchdown from Portland State running back Davis Alexander, and Alexander didn't stop. He added 2 more first-half touchdowns and was a big part of Portland State's 28-0 halftime lead. The Bears didn't score until there were less than 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, in a game that they were already down 35-0. The final was 35-14, with Portland State handing Bears their 7th straight loss. The Bears host the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks this Saturday at noon as they try to break out of their losing streak. And finally tonight, every time the Broncos scored last Sunday, the home crowd would go crazy. But it wasn't for the result on the field, it was because that's when they set off the pyrotechnics that would warm them up for a quick second. I know this because I was there and it was cold. The Broncos couldn't get much of anything going in the first 3 quarters of their contest against the LA Rams, only scoring 10 points in the first 3 quarters of the game, while the Rams scored 20. The fourth did add a sense of excitement as Denver scored 10 more points, but the Rams kicker Johnny Hecker put 1 more field goal through the uprights to put the final score at 20-23, 2023 Los Angeles. The loss dropped the Broncos to 2-4 on the season, which puts them at 3rd place in the AFC West. The Rams were going to be a tough team to beat as they came in and left Mile High City undefeated. Rams running back Todd Gurley rushed for 208 yards en route to the win. In more of a fun fact piece of information that isn't really fun at all, Sunday's game was the Broncos' 2nd coldest ever before November 1st, at just 25 degrees. But when you're sitting down with not much to cheer for, it felt a lot colder than that.
Now just another tough loss for those Broncos.
Yep.
They're playing tonight.
In Arizona, so it won't be nearly as cold, hopefully.
Ooh, so hopefully we can maybe rack up a win.
Not a very good team down there in Arizona, too. The Broncos are actually favorites in this one. But I know we talked with Matt, and he's curling up with the hot chocolate. When you're watching the Broncos game, you might need something a little bit stronger than hot chocolate. But don't worry, guys. Remember, Bear News is your on-campus source for all things UNC.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.